Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz, guys. Welcome to episode 29 of season 3. If this is your first time joining us for the Untapped Podcast, first of all, thank you for choosing us. We are thrilled to have you guys here with us. We've actually got 5 main formats of our show. First, we have Forging Fortitude episodes. In these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand. We go over our anecdotal experience with mindset and mentality. Then we pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have Physical Vitality episodes. In these episodes, we really get to showcase our expertise because you have 2 certified personal trainers here. Now, in these episodes, we cover the physical side of our brand. We cover everything to do with fitness, nutrition, diet, the workouts, the gym, supplements, workout programs like 75 Hard. Sometimes we will even find trending things or trending topics within the fitness industries, and we will pull those, we will go over them, give our thoughts, give our expertise. In those episodes, guys, we give out a lot of free game, okay? So make sure that you pay attention to those ones.
Absolutely. Dude, so much free game in those.
Yes.
And
yes.
by the way, we just did 2 back-to-backs of those. Mm-hmm. Those are a lot of fun for us as well.
Yes,
because again, like Wurt said, that's our expertise. That's what we want to talk about.
It's very natural for us to talk about it.
It is. Yes. Yeah. So you see a Physical Vitality pop up, hop on it. Now, guys, our third format is our breaking news format. The breaking news format is a current event-based format. A good example of that would be like the Israel-Hamas situation. We might bring in articles about something like that, talk about it. COVID's another one we talked a lot about, etc. We break down the BS of those situations. We give our opinions on them, that type of stuff. We might unveil the curtain over them a little bit sometimes, because we're not being told the truth a lot of times.
Sure.
And our fourth format, which is what we have for you today, is our Knights Table format. That is a masculinity-based format. Keep in mind here, I'm 25, Wurtz is 25, Mitch is 23. So we're not coming to you as some all put together men that have, everything figured out, or so to speak. The only person ever to touch the earth that had everything figured out was Jesus Christ. So because of that, we bring you even articles talking about masculinity sometimes.
Sure.
We talk about how really important masculinity is to our current society. And today is really going to be one of those episodes where we showcase why masculinity is something that should be encouraged by every family, by every person, etc. Fifth format is our guest format. The guest format is when we sit down with somebody that is a fitness professional, entrepreneur, somebody that brings you value, have a great story like Mr. JT Thomas, our last guest. We have something huge in the works coming up here soon. Very, very large coming up.
Very exciting.
Super excited about that one. You guys will know exactly what we're talking about when that happens. But our last thing to introduce is our producer and my brother, Mitchell Gabel.
Hey, guys.
Oh, man.
Hey, dude.
What's going on?
How we doing, Mitch?
I'm good. How are you?
He picked NPC mode today, I guess.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I see that.
That's okay.
I see that. Well, we should probably just move on from him then. So
we should probably not involve him in anything else in the episode now.
Exactly. It might go a weird direction. Yeah.
We discussed it because you don't want to give me FaceTime. We know why.
Well, sure.
I'm the most handsome one, so it takes away from you guys.
No, we're back to this again. I thought you were going to say something like I would take over the podcast or something like that. Like, oh gosh.
Well, that too, but
yeah, okay. So I let him into that
stay
one.
In
That's
your corner,
my fault,
buddy. Hey, stay in your corner, pal.
follow the street lines there. Come on.
Yep. Thank you. Well, hey, I say we dive right in here.
I'm down.
Been a little bit since we've had a Knights Table episode.
As I've mentioned before, these are always exciting for me, and I know they're super exciting for you.
Yeah.
And this is one of those topics when we first brought it up a couple weeks ago, for that matter, and we're like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about this at some point in time.
Yeah.
It was one of those that were like, yeah, this is going to be good stuff.
And the fun thing about the Knights Tables episode specifically, and this in ways, what I'm about to say can be true for really any of our formats for this matter, but I feel like the Knights Table episodes can really pull pieces from our other formats.
That's so true.
They have a lot to do with the mindset of a man and what that should look like, or how we try to strive for a certain type of mindset towards life, towards business, towards fitness, towards relationships, fill in the blank. We've talked about being an able-bodied man as well, being fit, being strong. You don't have to be some powerlifter, bodybuilder guy, just a functional human being. We've talked a lot about that recently, functionality of the body, of your training.
Performance-based of the body.
Performance-based, without a doubt, whether that's performance in a sport or for life. Both are extremely important, They can also pull things from breaking news episodes, because right now in our society, as long as we've been alive, we've really put a lot of effort and attention to it the last probably 2 or 3 years because we're at that age now where that kind of stuff matters.
Beginning June 2020 was when you and I really started.
Well, sure.
Because when we reconnected.
Absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. But the more and more we find out, it's really been the past 20 to almost 50 years probably where masculinity, where masculinity has been under attack. So, and that kind of covers more the breaking news side of our show here. So that's what's kind of cool about the Knights Tables episodes is it can pull ideas from our other formats. And like I said earlier, all of them could do that as well. But I don't know, it's just kind of fun. We almost, in ways, combine all of our formats to do this one.
Yes. Yes.
Independent of the guest episodes, because obviously we always cover things from several different topics.
And that's always fun to do with guests.
It is, absolutely.
Because I think it's important to hear
absolutely
from different people about like their different journeys with each different format, that type of stuff. Yeah. That's the beauty about the formats. That's the whole reason we do the formats for that matter.
Exactly.
Because it allows us to hear every side of everything.
Exactly. And honestly, that's why we've talked with and talked about having a couple specific females that we know on the show as well to get even their side on these things, whether that's fitness, mindset, the masculinity side of things or femininity as well. Like that's why we've brought up that idea, and I think that's important too.
And those conversations will look different.
Absolutely.
As they logically should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's the whole dynamic of the masculine, the feminine, the traditional gender roles and all that come along with
the
it.
marriage of the two, of the femininity and the masculinity in a relationship.
That's the whole point. That is why God created man and woman, because they mesh so well together when it really comes into a union in that type of scenario.
Sure.
Or even sometimes a friendship for that matter.
Absolutely.
And whatnot.
Absolutely.
But introducing the topic of the Knights Table today. So the title, as you guys saw, is what men used to do and still should do to this current day and time. And the reason we're saying should do and still should is because they used to do these things. Like men almost across the board did these 3 things we're about to list as a normal daily thing.
Sure. And it wasn't strictly just because they were a man, obviously.
Right.
But there was, in society, there was that recognition of clear roles within a society.
Yes.
Whether that's in a household, in a business world, in sports, the separation of the two for the many logical reasons that there are separation between
most obvious
men and
possible
women
reasons
sports.
ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you look at things right now. Are men leading? No. Are they, when they are?
A few of them we know are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, of course. But in general, are men leading effectively? I realize I didn't finish my thought there. No.
No. In general, no.
Again, there are certain ones that we've mentioned, guys that we pay attention to, that we try to model different parts of our life after. Yeah. Those guys are leading well.
And we're not talking about the outliers here.
No.
We're speaking in general terms.
Exactly,
for a reason.
because they're, like you just said, they're outliers in today's society. They didn't used to be. And that's the point here with this first point of men. Men, like, we have to lead. We have to be the leaders in society. Not just because we have different anatomical parts than females. That's not at all what we're saying. Oh, he's a man, so he should lead. No. But it is in our biology, and it is in, what's that word I'm looking for there? I mean, it's in our nature.
In our nature, yeah.
Nature, yes. To lead. It's a more natural thing for us to do.
Yes.
And there are so many men that they choose not to. They choose to lean more into becoming a more feminine male. Because
in a lot of ways, society's encouraged that.
Exactly.
In a lot of ways. And a comment recently of ours encouraged that as well.
Sure.
That we got on our Untapped platform, basically saying that we were promoting toxic masculine values.
And keep in mind, in that specific post, it was literally the clip that we posted. And you go watch this clip now. Like, we're not scared. We're not going to take down a post or anything like that.
No.
In this clip, we were literally talking about how important it is to train your legs.
Literally.
Like, legitimately.
Your lower body.
Yes.
That was the conversation.
From not our most recent physical vitality, but from the first one of the back-to-back.
I guess
what would that be? 27.
I guess the commenter must like stalked our profile or something like that.
And maybe.
And then decided on that post to comment on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just like,
again, he deleted his comment, so obviously,
he did.
A little scared.
Yeah, right. Right.
It's because we don't tolerate that stuff either.
No.
You and I were having a conversation about the internet in general and how, these people, like, they wouldn't say this to you in person.
No.
Ever.
No.
If somebody's complaining about something you're doing, to us, that's like an indicator. Okay, we are starting to lead. We're leading towards the right things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt.
And that shows for our example of leading. a great example of that is our men's nights.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, who's organizing those?
Exactly. It's
Who's
us.
organizing Omen's men's groups?
Yeah.
Mark,
Exactly.
another leader.
Yeah.
So it's a good example. Like, again, who organized Brock's men's nights? Brock, a leader. So it shows you that, and again, not every man has to organize 10, 15 guys together or 30 guys together. That's not, every man leads in a different way.
Yes.
Is usually what happens. Our personal example is the business. This is a great way for us to help other men through our leadership.
Yeah. And dude, the amount of people that we've had throughout our couple years almost, because we're almost at 2 years now, almost at 100 episodes, which is insane.
Isn't that awesome?
I mean, it is. It's absolutely awesome.
Episode 98 right now.
And
98.
That's my point, is we are leading by example of what we preach so much of: consistency, discipline, things like that. Here we are, do we have millions and millions of views and listens? No, we don't. Do we have thousands? No, we don't. But we are still continuing to go down this path that we want to be on. It doesn't matter because, like I've said before, episode 99 could be the one that hits. Episode 100 could be the one that hits. It probably will. After what you guys see what's coming up. It's going to be awesome. Really, really excited.
So excited.
But we are doing that, And you mentioned something. Every man leads in a different way.
Yes.
You guys may not think you're leading anybody. You might think that nobody's watching you. You might think that you're not setting an example for anybody. But I promise you, somebody is watching.
Yes.
Somebody, And listen, you're not just going to one day be like, I'm going to be a leader today. Like, no. It's in your life that you just happen to be leading certain people. Or you get thrown into a position, whether that's at work. For me, I kind of got thrown into the position of coaching the team I have now. Guess what I'm doing for those 13-year-old boys? I'm leading them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
On and off the field, and I love it.
It's fun to watch.
The
way you interact with them, it's awesome.
It is.
Really
it is. And yeah. I'm extremely thankful for this opportunity because when it first started, I'm like, dude, no, I don't know how to coach like that. Right. I've been an assistant coach for several years.
A lot of imposter syndrome, that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
And I certainly still deal with that at times. Because you don't see many 25-year-old coaches, which honestly I take a lot of pride in that fact.
I would say that it should be a more common thing that younger guys should, like younger guys are, and I say younger guys in our age group.
Yes.
They should be doing that type of stuff.
Well, sure, because all three of us can speak on this too. There's a certain point, and our dads are not going to like to hear this, but they know it to be true with their dads too. When you're an athlete, and when you're a teenage athlete, a preteen, or hell, even when you get into college, there comes a certain time where dad's voice just no longer, you don't hear it anymore.
Yep.
He's probably right.
Or at least you purposely ignore it. Yeah.
Or that, and he's probably right.
Yeah.
Hey, on your swing, you need to keep your hands back more. Like, yes, Dad, I know. Okay. But then your coach says it, and you're like, oh, I need to keep my hands back more. Your dad's sitting over there staring you down like, dude, I just said that.
Oh, man. Steve, the amount of times he told me I needed to be more aggressive and whatnot.
Exactly.
And then looking back on it.
Shut up, Dad.
Looking back on it, he was 100% right.
Exactly.
Because I started getting more aggressive junior, senior high school, and then from still to this day on. And my game has continued to get better.
Exactly.
And I'm 25 years old.
Exactly.
So it's a funny example, but it's true.
Exactly.
It's
true.
Is.
And I see it with my players too. And the dads on my team, I tell them that, like, listen, there's a lot of the times where you're probably right or you're close to right with something baseball related. But I'm going to be honest with you, like, he's not going to listen to you. Now, I could go over here in 5 minutes, say verbatim what you just said to him, and it'll click. And you have to be okay with that.
Yep.
And I'm sure when we're dads and our son or our daughter is playing a sport, we're going to deal with it too. I'm like, bro, you've got to listen to me. Like, it's this, this, and this, But anyway, sometimes you get thrown into the fire of leading people. Again, whether that's in my situation, it could be something at work. Could be you start a podcast. You're like, there's no one that's going to listen to this. And then you find out everywhere you go, someone mentions your podcast to you. And it's pretty powerful. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Literally
almost every location you go to.
Yeah.
You and I hear it.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
From at least one person.
Yes.
And it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. And honestly, I love it when I get it from the athletes that I train. I think that's awesome because they're all high school and below. Like, that is so cool.
Well, I was saying to you, we got a bunch of them that followed us recently.
Yeah.
Because they're like, he's really doing this thing.
Exactly.
They saw that.
And that tells us too, it's like, okay, like we really got to set this example correctly because it's working,
Yeah.
So it's very, very powerful, and it can definitely cause some imposter syndrome without a doubt. It can be very nerve-wracking. It can be scary.
Yeah.
You're gonna question yourself. You're gonna get questioned all the time. all the time. You're going to get questioned. You're going to get second guessed. So it's going to cause you to question yourself, second guess yourself. But you have to remain confident in what you know to be true and what you know to be right.
Right.
You have to set that standard, set the example.
Love that. So an interesting example of where leadership can actually go wrong for men is, so for example, let's say you have a girlfriend and you're still in your old habits of going out to the bars 1 to 2 times a weekend, maybe even more than that sometimes. Naturally, if you're a leader, which men are, and you naturally are striving to be a leader, or in general, like you give off a leadership vibe, which again, men tend to do, she's going to do the same thing. And then you end up leading her down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Exact wrong thing you should do.
Absolutely.
What it should look like is that you're in a relationship and you guys are going to the gym together.
Yeah.
Or you're going on hikes together.
Right.
You're spending quality exercise time together. You're spending quality time together where you're actually getting to know each other and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're not just getting hammered,
Right.
bundled at the bar. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
Just
and
laughing
you know,
there.
all that money that you're about to spend at the bar with your buddies. And listen, like, go out with your buddies. Let her go out with her girlfriends. Like,
Again,
not against that.
Wurtz and I will say,
And you should have
we
that.
still enjoy having the fun like that.
For sure.
It
But
just shouldn't consume your life.
But if you're doing it every week, like you mentioned, 1 to 2 times a week, that money you're spending at the bar with your buddies, like, why wouldn't you take your girl on a nice experience? You guys could go out to a nice dinner. Maybe you guys go to one of those like getaway places that we've seen Jeff and Kyler Lavecchio go on.
Oh, yeah, they go to those cool Airbnbs
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. It's like for a
it's so
weekend. Like
cool.
that's an experience. That's something you get to experience with her. Like that's special. That's something you're going to remember. It's better than the flowers you bought her on Wednesday,
right?
That are dead by Friday.
Well, and that's an interesting thing too. There was a tweet by this guy named Tyler T.O. His last name is T-O-D-T. So Tot, I think is how it's pronounced.
It's a fake name.
Definitely a made up name. Yeah, I just made it up to talk about the story. But anyways, he put out a tweet where it was basically like his wife never got anything the first 2 to 3 years they were together, including marriage. She never got anything out of flowers. So this is an eye opener for me. I'm like, my mom always told me, buy girls flowers, because my mom loves that type of stuff. She's a big like gift receiver. Like she likes it when we do like thoughtful stuff for her. Like
Yeah.
So kind of cool. But his wife didn't give a shit about the flowers. Didn't care. And he realized he wasn't even looking into her love language at all. Which again, the love languages are what?
Physical touch,
gift giving, words of affirmation, acts of service. One more?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. No, Mitch definitely doesn't know.
Look it up for us.
Man, you're gonna make my search history look weird.
Oh my!
Love languages, bro. That's a Christian concept.
Come on now.
That's a faith-based concept. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really blanking on the fourth one.
Fifth one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He'll
Wow.
find it here in a second.
That's
But
whack.
it's a good point. You know, you guys have to, when you're in a relationship, you have to have an understanding of those things.
And it doesn't mean you have to like, go off exactly of their love language
No,
or
of
whatever.
course not.
But you should take note of things that they enjoy.
Exactly.
If they enjoy just being with you, which honestly I found to be the case, a lot of women just enjoy that. And again, that's tough right now for me because again, I can only give so much
Did
time
you say
right now.
quality time?
No, we did not.
I
That
think
was the
that's
one.
what it is. Quality time.
Oh, that's what I didn't say. And I just said it now. Okay. Yes. So quality time is the fifth one.
It's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, like-
that's what we were talking
So
about.
it must have just jogged in my mind and I said it.
Yeah.
But quality time is actually what I found is a big one for a lot of women. So if you're going to get in a relationship and you're prepared, you're like, I'm dating for marriage. Cool. Which is great. You should. 100%. And she really enjoys spending, those 2 to 3 days you see her during the week or whatever amount of time it is, let's say you see her for 4 hours one day. That should be that you're attentive to her the whole time.
Or even if you live together. You know, if you or her or both of you are gone all day at work or whatever, when you guys are home, like, cherish that time.
And that's a pretty easy concept with your wife. You know what I mean?
So it sounds like it
It's
anyway.
a simple concept. It's the same thing as exercise is simple, but it's not easy necessarily.
Right.
You know, but it's one of those concepts that's not too difficult to, understand, but applying it's a different story.
Yeah.
So it's all about taking the time. And if you can't take the time to comprehend that type of stuff and implement it in relationships, you shouldn't be in a relationship anyways.
Yeah.
And that's not any hate on you guys. Like, again, I can relate to that heavily.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I can't really implement a lot of the quality time right now. So that's why I'm not in a relationship. That wouldn't be fair to most women because a lot of them enjoy the quality time aspect of it. So you have to, this all goes to loop together. As a man, your leadership could be with one person, your wife, your girlfriend. It could be with one or two friends. It could be with a large group of guys. It could be an Andy Frisella who leads thousands, if not millions
probably,
of people.
Yeah.
So that's a different scale.
Indirectly.
But you are not, again, and we talked about this in the checklist of being a man and whatnot, you are not less of a man just because you don't own a billion-dollar company and lead millions of people. That's not what the part of it is.
In each person's life, it'll look different.
Now, every man should strive to be a leader in their own home.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
When the time, again, that is one of the things I'm building into my life for that reason. So we talk about that. So we can be a great father, great husband. That is your number one place you should be leading.
Yeah.
And this does not mean be a tyrant.
No.
In any way. And this can go in any of our girlfriend situations where, we might have gotten frustrated, whatnot, and tried to be a tyrant in that scenario.
For sure.
It never is effective for one, and it's also disrespectful.
Yeah.
By all means.
Yes.
Leadership means you are allowing her to step into what her as a feminine woman is. That's what it is.
Right.
It takes a certain weight off her shoulders. This is why we say, as men, you should talk to your male friends about issues you might be having. Now, should you just keep your wife in the dark? Absolutely not. No. Your girlfriend in the dark? Absolutely not. I made that mistake both ways. Too much and too little both times, and it was bad both ways.
Yeah.
So you should not keep her in the dark, but talking to your male friends about, some stuff you're really struggling with, that keeps a certain weight off your shoulders.
And asking for advice too. You're not just
dumping on
pouring it all out on them.
Emotionally dumping.
You're like, hey, this is what's going on in your experience. Like, what should I do here? And that's why we talk to guys that are a little bit older than us and have experience. Connor, who we've had on the podcast,
Absolutely.
JT, who we've had on the podcast, Jeff, who we've had, Brock, who we talk about all the time, Mark, even.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's people I'm forgetting, but there's a reason we go to those guys to ask for advice on girl situations or business situations with the guys that have businesses or just life in general, man. We have faith and we have trust in those guys because they're so much older than us.
Yeah, they're ancient.
Especially JT.
Well, I mean, JT is withered up. He's basically King Tut in his tube.
King Tut.
I'm sending him this clip.
That dude's a mummy.
Yeah. King Tut's been in there. He's been mummified for a while.
He's going to be dressed up as a mummy for Halloween, but that's just what he wears.
Egyptian rags. That's JT's daily attire.
We love you, JT. We love you, brother.
We really do love JT. This
dude.
is why you can notice who we really like if we do this type of stuff. Like 100%.
Will is another one. I forgot to mention.
Oh gosh,
Will's awesome.
Yeah, Will just leads me to want to be the battering ram for the first man in the door. Like
right.
That's what he does.
Right.
But again, that kind of finishes the loop off of leading and whatnot.
Exactly.
That should be a pretty clear one.
Well, and ending off that with the household, you got to be able to protect as well. That's another big one as well. And that kind of goes into the point where we've talked about in these Knights Table episodes. We've even talked in Physical Vitalities as well about being an able-bodied man, capable of violence, being able to handle that, but being able to hone it as well. Jordan Peterson, his quote that everyone knows, he says it perfectly. Okay, and we all know it. The be dangerous, but be able to.
Yes, be able to control it. Or be a monster, but be able to control it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Another one that Rogan I've seen him say it, but this is an old one. I think like Sun Tzu or something like that is you should rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
In a war. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the idea of that is that you should be, even if you're in a garden, you should be the savage. You should be the dude in that garden.
And we posted a clip where I was talking last week on our episode where you should have the confidence. If you see a kid, whether it's your kid or someone else's kid, about to run out in the street in front of a car, you should have the confidence and the ability to go save that kid's life.
Yep.
Because what if they're by themselves? What if they're with their friends? What if their dad's not capable?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be able to take that on.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying like you got to go around looking to save everybody. Not what I'm saying here. There's
don't
not some
get a
crazy
hero complex.
Exactly.
For the love of God, don't put yourself in danger for no good reason.
I'm saying you happen to see a situation. Maybe you see a car accident happen. That's I don't know why. That's actually something I think about all the time. Sure, but I mean, like you see it happen. Like you're not a part of it.
Sure.
You know that you could be in a position to help.
Yeah.
That person's stuck in the car, whatever it is, but you could be in a position to help. You know?
Because I want Mitchell to tell that story, actually.
Well, exactly.
Him being in that scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened, a couple months ago?
Probably a couple
where
months
I
ago,
was
yeah.
nearly involved in one.
Mm-hmm.
The car right in front of me, every airbag deployed. And the lady was pretty disoriented. I ended up in a ditch. So, once I settled myself, got out of the car, this was on a busy highway in St. Louis.
The worst freaking highway in St. Louis,
God.
270.
Me and two other people were opening this lady's car door right along the highway because obviously, you're right next to a lane of traffic and we're pulling her out of the car because
Didn't you say there was kids in the car too? Or
the car right in front of it? Yeah.
Okay.
And we did the same thing, just moved down the line and, the protecting is a very good conversation to have. And one thing that it reminds me of is there was a video going around of people asking mothers and fathers if they would kill to protect their kids. And there was a whole bunch of these weak parents saying, "Oh, I don't know if I could do that."
Oh my gosh.
Like that's
What
not
kind
a
of coward
That's not
shit?
a question. If when we have kids, if something happens to I will kill you. Like
No, I'll butcher you.
Oh, yeah.
there's not
Yeah.
a second thought in your mind. You shouldn't even think.
Yeah.
There should be an instinct.
Right.
So like the same thing, and that's a very drastic
But it makes
example.
a good point, though.
But it's the same thing. You shouldn't hesitate in those situations. It should be instinctual and having that ability to, number one, you're able-bodied, right? I could open that lady's car door. I could pull her out. She was significantly bigger than me. But I could still take control of that situation because we are able to do that, and you're confident in that situation.
What did you say to our mother, though, when she called you on the phone?
What?
This is a big part here.
Well, yeah, as soon as I got out of the car, I said, "Mom, I'm okay. My car's okay. I have to go and see if these people are okay." And I ran up the hill
And he hung up.
and we handled it.
So my mom was freaked out,
Sure.
but he was fine.
Sure.
And what did he do? He went and made sure the situation was okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was, again, if you're obviously injured in this scenario, that's a different story.
Well, sure.
But Mitchell assessed the scenario,
Right.
and he went up and handled it.
And something I wanted to note too, you took care of yourself first. You mentioned that in there.
Mm-hmm.
You went into the ditch, or you really slid down a hill is really what it was. And you made sure you were okay. Your car was good. Not, oh, are there any scratches on my car? Like, no, you made sure that yourself was good. And then you said, okay, it is now my obligation to go help these people.
Yeah.
I am put in this situation for a reason. So I have to go do this.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect close to home example of
Love
what
that.
we're
It's a
talking
larger
about there.
conversation because if you're not, what if I was 300 pounds? I
Sure.
wouldn't have been able
you
to
go.
walk up the hill
Well, that sure, yeah, 100%.
because
Or-
of the position I put myself
Exactly.
in. I put in work to be able to handle stuff
Sure.
like that.
sure,
Yeah, he's
and,
jacked.
and and also think about all the people that drove by. Now, again, you're on a very busy highway. You're driving 60, 70 plus miles an hour. So
Looks like
you're
it's
like, holy
the
shit, look at that
situation's handled,
accident,
yeah.
and then before you know it, you're a mile past it. You know,
Yeah.
so like I get that aspect as well. However, because you were so close to it, there wasn't even a second thought for you. Wasn't even a second thought.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty important.
So I wanted to now. So that was of that second point. That was like the protect the innocent part.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk about the first part, the exact justice part of it. Mitchell mentioned it in that video of these people being like, I don't know if I'd kill to protect my kid, which is I haven't seen this video. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say that you would not kill to protect your child.
I'm kill to protect yourself.
Like, sorry.
I mean, yeah.
I call. Am I like a right wing crazy terrorist for that?
That's
Like,
kind of toxic masculinity.
well,
there.
yeah. According to that guy,
know.
definitely. We should post this one for him and tag him.
Sure. Well, we
Yeah.
got to stop training legs, obviously. Training legs equals toxic masculinity.
Yeah. Yep. That's the new standard for toxic
It
masculinity.
makes
Yep.
a lot of sense
It does. Yeah.
on Jupiter.
Yeah. In the next galaxy over.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
how big your legs would be if you were on Jupiter?
Yeah, because it's super heavy there.
Yeah,
Gra-
10
gravity,
pounds
right?
on the weight machine
are
would
we
be
about
like
to go
That
into
was
this?
extremely dirty. of him.
8,000.
I'm not gonna lie. That
Yeah,
was
there's
really,
a cybersecurity coming out of him.
I'm just saying, you couldn't be a feminine man on Jupiter. You would be ripped. I mean, it's true.
I'm ripped on Earth. Too,
well, yeah,
so.
I mean,
got all bases covered.
I was more ripped this summer, but anyway.
as we keep talking about you and I. 2 years ago, bro, I was so jacked. But guys, the exact justice point. So this is key. This comes off to a lot of people like they anytime somebody hears kill somebody, it's like whoa. If somebody
The U.S. government doesn't have a problem doing it.
no, they don't. No, they do not.
I forgot the classes.
Including a sitting
JFK.
U.S. president named John F. Kennedy. Yep, that's we know CIA. You made it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty obvious.
We're aware.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly a great cover-up job by you guys. Anyways, the point is that if somebody, let's say, in this scenario that these people were being asked that question, would you kill to protect your child? Let's say that your child is taught about anal sex at 6 years old, which is true, which is happening in a lot of liberal cities.
Not where I was expecting you to go with that.
So my point is, though, my shirt, pedophiles. If somebody, let's say your kid was at the playground and a pedophile said something, or let's say just a person said something to him, was like, hey, little buddy, like that, like whatever creepy shit they do.
Yeah, with the glasses.
With the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. Yeah, exactly. You're going to tell me your kid's going to come home and you're going to be like, oh, you're just seeing things, honey.
Oh, it was harmless.
It was harmless. What should happen in that scenario is that you get eyes on this person.
Oh, yeah.
Again, technically by saying something to your kid, they haven't done anything yet. But I can tell you right now, that's not a harmless offense.
No.
That is not a consequenceless. Is that a thing? Is that a
inconsequential? Maybe.
Yeah. Like that is not an offense that goes without consequence. That's a better way to phrase it.
Man, we just sounded real smart.
Yeah, that was bad. Talking about this topic, that was
Come on,
tough.
cybersecurity, talk to us.
Had to work through that one.
Yeah, the old coconut was going there.
Yeah.
That's for
Sound
sure.
it out.
Yeah,
Sound it out.
Yeah. Oh, language arts class. That's a tough one. I
already know Mitch is about to meme us on that one.
You stupid.
It's gonna be bad.
What's 9 plus
that
10?
just like, what is wrong
21.
with
You stupid.
words?
How did a drool come out, dude?
Did you really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Disgusting.
We're gonna zoom in on that part.
It's embarrassing.
Yep. Quick. Look at Mitch, bro. Oh my God. He's making this. Oh man.
We forgot to mention that in all of our episodes, there's a lot of humor.
In all of our episodes, we laugh
Stupidity.
a lot. This is the problem with three dudes that are like really close friends.
Yeah.
We're like really close friends doing this type of stuff because we just giggle.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Well, have you noticed on all these hard topics, we laugh because even for us who were more on the traditional side, these topics are hard to talk about because they're so looked down upon.
They're taboo.
They're looked down upon societally. So we're laughing as a way to get away from being uncomfortable.
Yep.
Right.
It's uncomfortable to talk about this stuff.
It's a coping type of mechanism.
Yeah,
for sure,
like
from us.
the vast majority of people, like me saying that on camera, sounds horrific. But at the end of the day, like put yourself in a situation. I pray to God that none of us are ever in that situation.
I hope
that
for that person,
that's how it would go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's period. The end. It's reality. We're not living in. Okay, I'm never going to experience a crime in my life. We're not living in that side of reality. We realize there's bad stuff in this world, and we're prepared for it.
Yeah.
We're not chasing it. We've had this conversation. We're just prepared for it, and we will respond appropriately.
Yeah.
We laugh about it because that's looked down upon nowadays.
Well, and here's the thing about the justice conversation too. This is not us like somebody like saying something rude to us and us beating the shit out of them. Honestly, you could do a lot of things to me. I really won't respond. I was talking to Mitch about this. I'm overall like a pretty nice guy. Like I really am overall pretty nice guy. Especially when people say stuff to me, like I'm like brush it off. That person's a loser. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you come after my family, we've had this conversation with our family plenty of times. If somebody comes after our family, I mean, there was a situation down at the lake where this literally showed with me. I popped right out of bed and backed my dad up in this scenario.
No, you told me about this.
I'm not
I
going to go
remember.
super in depth and whatnot just because I'm not necessary. But I popped right out of bed and backed my father up in this scenario.
Yeah.
Who, again, my father is older now. So it is my job now to do that type of stuff.
Sure.
So, and in that scenario, if I would have had to kill somebody, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Because if somebody would have had a gun or like a weapon pointed at my father, I'm putting them down. It's over.
Yeah.
There's no second thought process. It's definitely the same thing with my mother. It is 100. It will be the same thing with my children. If you fuck with my children or my family, I will kill you.
Yeah.
There's no other conversation about it. There's like I don't even know why that's a hard thing for us to say.
It's not.
So-
You know what I mean?
So a general discussion that's been going around to kind of encapsulate this idea is either being a nice man or being a good man. So there's two different things here. You can be a nice man all day long. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings. You call them by their pronouns, whatever, right? That's being nice. A good man is completely different. A good man, you will stand on your morals. You will stand on your values. It might be, it's not going to be nice if those are challenged.
Sure.
But you're going to be a good man because you are making the right decision. That's what's kind of encapsulating this discussion. You killing someone is not going to be nice, but you're going to be a good man for defending your family.
Defending what you believe in.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing it up for what you believe in.
That's kind of the conversation
Bro,
that's kind of been
That was
encapsulating that.
beautiful, Mitchell. That's awesome.
And whether it's your family, whether it's, what's going on in our world right now, where there are very real threats to our society and our country that matter too, or it's a friendship or whatever it is, like I think that differentiation between nice man and good man, we have a lot of nice men right now. Got a lot of nice men right now, not a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I don't have time for it, bro. I get so tired of that shit.
Well, and it's not even just like, it is that, yes, for sure.
It's exhausting for me.
No, it is.
Like that's
It
on
is.
my end. I'm not speaking for you here, but it's exhausting.
Yeah, no, it is 100% because
Being around yes men.
I saw this thing on Twitter earlier, and it was like, make sure you mark your calendars. It was mocking this thing, but it was all. I mean, it was this giant list of all these days for the rest of the year of transgender appreciation day and things like that.
Fruitcake festival. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
There probably is like a real fruitcake festival.
That's the thing. There probably is.
like actual fruitcakes.
Honestly,
the food.
probably some of the farmers markets around us. Probably.
Probably. They're probably good too.
Well, this one we're talking about isn't good.
No. Yeah, we don't like that one. But like actual fruit, that's good. Guys, eat your fruit. Eat your fruit. It's good for you.
I wonder when masculine men will get their own month. I mean, you got the men's mental health month, but it's talked about. I see it 2 times that month, and that's it.
Oh yeah. Because what was that also?
What
Was that Pride Month?
was it? Is it the same month as Pride month?
I think it was
June.
Oh, so it's not that month then. It's Pride month's that month.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is.
Right.
So you're 100% right. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's like 100 dates on the calendar or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That is all towards the LGBTQ+++.
Sure. I bet I can find
VX whatever numeral you want to add in to that list or whatever.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you could keep going. That's the thing, though.
Without a doubt.
That's the crazy thing about it. You could literally keep going on that list because some people believe
perfect.
there's 80 of them.
So I'm going to show you, but look at how long this list is. That's
Sweet.
That is, so it is covering the year, but there's things like International Lesbian Day, Gender Fluid Visibility Week is, we're actually right in the middle of that. So congratulations to you guys.
The way you delivered that.
Asexual Awareness Week, October 23rd, October 29th.
That's my favorite.
Happy Halloween.
I
guys.
actually reproduce through photosynthesis.
Oh,
yep.
This is a good one. This is
That's
a good
what asexual. Asexual. Like plants are asexual, Mitchell.
Sure, for sure.
So
Yeah,
their terminology here.
I thought
is,
asexual was like you have like exact clone of yourself. You just like split off into two.
It can be that too. It's basically you're in love with yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
So November 5th, Transparent Day. Love those.
Wait, so it's just regular mom and dad day, but they just say
Flip
they're
roles or something.
a dude even though they can solve kids.
This one's heartfelt. November 20th. Make sure you guys mark your calendars for this one, okay? Transgender Day of Remembrance. We remember those. Yeah.
The fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. The entire month of October. So we're also in the middle of this one.
Send that guy who's commenting on Mark's stuff over to this episode.
Yeah.
He's gonna love this one.
LGBT History Month is the entire month of October.
Wow, I couldn't give a shit less about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are just what's coming up the rest of the year, guys. So just make sure that you are a nice man and you conform to all these things.
You bend the knee. Yep.
I guess April 14th was Day of Silence. That's nice because we didn't hear them talking.
The hell does that mean?
I don't know, but they were silent, so that's good. That was probably actually a very peaceful day. Didn't have to hear their annoying
This has got to
bullshit.
be like these got to be memes. Like who runs this committee that puts this stuff out?
I don't know. Who's Harvey Milk? Do we know who that is?
Sounds like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
That's probably pedo day.
May 22nd, Harvey Milk Day. I don't know. Who is that?
I don't know.
You want to look that up?
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Oh, hold on.
That's it.
Let me say something real quick too.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I'm also done reading these.
Yeah,
This is
yeah. I was gonna
ridiculous.
say that got really painful. I
That
feel
wasn't
like.
even half the list, by the way, guys.
No, that wasn't even close to half the list. I saw
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
miserable. So look up the name. Those of you that don't know this, I literally learned this in college, which shows you how useless our education system is.
Mm-hmm.
The name Alfred Kinsey. Alfred is Alfred. Kinsey is Kinsey. I implore you to go look this up. This man was the father of the sexual revolution in the United States.
Good.
He basically like pioneered like gender ideology, that type of stuff.
Sweet.
And basically would do experiments to measure people's like orgasms and
Oh, wow.
pretty explicit stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Like I could go down a road that's pretty horrible. Pretty much what was found was that, and there was homosexual experiments, there's all types of stuff, different gender experiments, that type of stuff too. Basically what was found is that these experiments were done on either unwilling people, criminals sometimes. Some of them were done on children because he was very interested in the sexuality of children and how it works.
Awesome.
So basically he wasn't even a chipper victim. He was in a dark room, torture him till the day he dies type of guy.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the type of human he was. So look this up, and this is why it's interesting, because all of this we're talking about right now, those days that we're just mentioning, all that connects. All that connects to these days, and this sexuality is being like the International Lesbian Day, for example. I don't care who you have sex with. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, it's none of my business.
Honestly, for the most part, it grosses me out.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a word about who you have sex with.
Exactly.
I really don't. I want to know who you are as a person.
It should
I
be
want
a
to know who your
private,
character is.
intimate thing
Yeah.
anyway. Like, why is that even?
So that's the problem. They literally base their entire identity on who they are sexually attracted to. That is what it is. And because that's the thing. The U.S. is such a cush country that we've allowed this type of stuff to happen because we have no actual issues going on.
Because we have a lot of nice men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, I mean that's okay. We can add in the pronouns and whatnot. Go ahead, Mitch.
So, side note. So we'll transition to the third point, and I wanted to get to your
We're fully in
discussion.
the third
I was gonna
point,
say
so
we're
we're
basically
good.
in the
Your
third point here.
discussion from nice men to good men, but Harvey Milk was a gay rights activist who was assassinated in the late 70s, 1970s. So, like you were just saying, we're making a side note. We are not advocating for violence against any of these people.
No.
What we're advocating for is to live your life and stay in that path. Stop trying to spread it to people who don't want it to be spread to them.
Sure.
As Mark said in his post, we're talking about
Nobody
do not shove it down my throats.
Nobody is
Right.
advocating for any kind of violence, any kind of discrimination,
Right.
anything like that. That's why we live in the U.S., because we have that blessing and we have that ability to express ourselves just like we are right here.
Yes.
We're fine with that, but stop pushing it on people
Stop
who don't
making me
want it pushed.
have to conform to it.
Yes.
You live your life, I'll live mine.
I'll
give you
It's
nucks.
not like we're making anyone
Cool.
conform.
Well, I really
to
want to talk to you,
us.
but yeah.
So,
Well, and that's fine. Like,
We just want to interact.
yes.
Well, and it's not even like, oh, we're not going to talk to you because you're gay. It's just if you continue to base your identity solely on that,
I definitely want to talk
or
to you.
you make me wear a pride bracelet or something like that. Like, no.
You make me put pride tape on my hockey stick.
Yeah, or put the Ukrainian flag in my bio, or the
Same
rainbow
thing.
in my bio.
Same
Like,
thing.
no, I'm not doing that.
Or the Israeli flag in my bio now.
Yeah, or pronouns.
You name it. Or pronouns
Like,
in my bio.
I'm very clearly
Yeah.
a dude. I don't need to put
I would say
him,
it's pretty.
him.
I would argue it's pretty obvious that you're a dude.
I would assume so.
I would put the argument up there that
Yes,
you look like a dude for sure.
I mean,
For sure.
I did used to shave my legs. I don't currently.
So you might be trans.
no,
Okay. Good.
no.
Good. You never had thoughts of it.
No.
Oh.
No.
it's like the Wurtz is gay conversation. Now we're there.
I was wondering when that was going to come up.
But no,
Got to call Wurtz gay in every episode.
So that we're making a very good point.
That was really funny with your legs.
Yeah,
Like,
we're making
showing
it.
that was
yeah,
We're
good. That was
making
good.
it. We are making it very
and we do
clear.
have a candle right here.
Yeah, yeah, it is true.
But it smells damn good.
Sweet whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I like things smelling good.
Yeah, I like smelling good.
That's definitely not feminine. Like,
No.
yeah, that's like
Awesome.
neutral. Anyways,
It's awesome.
we're just fine.
We're making it very clear.
triggered.
Oh my lord.
Sorry, Mitch. Sorry. Go
We're
ahead.
making it very clear that we're not advocating for anything.
Yes,
any
for sure.
discrimination. Nothing at
Yeah.
all. We're just saying stand for what you believe, which is where you are going with your point from
Exactly.
nice men
Right.
versus good men.
Yeah.
Wurtz.
Exactly. And it, guys, I mean, just to kind of round this all out, this is kind of like the checklist, or not having a checklist, for being a good man that we had, a few episodes back. I think that was our last Night's Table episode.
The
Actually.
checklist. Yes,
believe so.
It was season 3, episode 24.
There you go. So
Yep.
5 episodes ago, guys, where, we said for each person, all of these things that we just covered tonight, all the things we covered in that episode, it's all going to look different in your own individual life. But in some way, in some fashion, you're going to be leading people, and you should lead people.
Yep.
And you should look for that opportunity. Again, you're not just going to wake up one day, I'm a leader, because guess what? You're not going to have any respect that way. If you're just trying to be tyrannical, like you said, in the household or something like that, or you're a boss at work and you're a boss, you're not a leader.
Yeah, you don't actually do any work. You just tell people what to do. Yeah.
Exactly. That's not leading.
It's garbage.
It is. And there's a lot of people like that, because when you get that promotion to being a boss or a manager, and listen, like I've had that promotion before, at the movie theater, like I was that. And I'm like, I don't really know how to do this. So I kind of would do that type of stuff at times because I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Me too.
But then you quickly realize it's like, no. I should be on the line next to my crew, taking customers and getting popcorn or sweeping the lobby. And as soon as I started doing that stuff again, like I had for the 3 or 4 years I did prior to the promotion, guess what happened?
They loved it.
Exactly.
And they responded better to it.
Oh wow, Jake's sweeping the lobby. Like I should probably just take that upon myself.
That's a
to do
concept.
That, things like that. So in some way, in some fashion, you're going to be leading. Round out point number 2 for us.
Point number 2, again, in some form, like Wurtz said, exacting justice and protecting the innocent. What does that mean for us? What did you guys hear there?
Mm-hmm.
It means, it goes along with the third point, but it means that if there are evil people that either wish you and your family harm, or wish you and your friends harm, or wish the world harm, for that matter, as we've talked about,
it's a big one, yeah.
as an Anthony Fauci or an Alfred Kinsey, for example.
Yeah.
If there's evil in the world and they're wishing you and the world harm, like in a really big, obvious way, or your community wrong, or your family, etc., you need to stand up and handle the situation.
Yeah.
There's only so many cops, and they're getting overwhelmed at this point in time.
Well, a lot of them,
everyone that I've talked to is they're not in a great scenario.
Well, and a lot of them don't know what to stand for either.
Exactly.
They're government workers, and the government tells them, hey, the citizens have to wear masks.
Yeah, so go enforce it.
Exactly. But if you yourself don't believe in masks, why would you enforce it?
Exactly.
Yep.
And then protecting the innocent. Any capable, strong man should be protecting the disabled, children, women. Who else on that list? Just those are the part of the population. Elderly. There we go. There we go. That's like your top 4 right there. Those who cannot protect themselves, the innocent, you should be protecting.
Absolutely.
You should be standing up for.
Yeah.
If you are at the bar and you see a guy messing with a girl, you should probably separate the situation at minimum.
Absolutely.
At minimum.
Absolutely.
It's a pretty obvious one.
Yes.
Go on point
and
3.
it doesn't, in that kind of a situation, it doesn't have to be some huge escalation.
No, you don't have to go up and cold cock him.
No. I mean, hell, dude, you could pretend to be her boyfriend.
I've done that before.
If she's in that much danger or feeling that much danger, like she'll go right along with it. I've seen plenty of videos where there's been girls in stores. Some guy will come up and start being weird, and another guy saw it and he was like, "Hey, babe, it's time to go. Like, let's move on to the next store." And then the guy just like gets all basically tucks his tail in between his legs and goes.
Because they're pussies.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Anybody,
They're trying to take advantage of someone that's innocent.
They're weak.
You're right, 100%. Point number 3, we talk a lot about this in our breaking news episodes. We talk a lot about in our Night's Table episodes as well. Standing for what you believe in. Standing on your morality, because there's it lacks in our world a lot today. And that is why we did what men used to do and still should, because we have a lot of nice men, not a lot of good men. We need more good men than nice men. We have to.
Yes, I love that. I love the good.
I do
nice
too. I mean, Mitch, you did a great job on that.
Oh,
man, it was fantastic. There's no better way to say it. No. And it's that cycle we've talked about too. Hard times create good men create easy times times create weak men. Guess where we're at right now?
Yep.
Easy times create weak men.
Yep. And we're easing into the weak men creating hard times. We're basically in the middle of the two right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
and
go ahead. Sorry.
And it's a very nerve-wracking time. It's a very scary time. It's very stressful. Are we about to be in World War III? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. And if we do get into that, like, our country's not going to survive that.
No.
Our military is so weak. our government has zero money. Our country has zero money. Our citizens, there are so many that don't do the things that we're talking about here, whether that's men or women, for that matter. You know? And so it's very stressful. And that's why we've talked about, too, like, you got to limit yourself a little bit. Or we limit ourselves because we look into this stuff so much.
We do, yeah.
And I was just talking to someone literally earlier today about this, and it's just like, it gives you this sense of hopelessness, which sucks when you're 25 years old. We're building a business. We're trying to be successful here. We're already having some success. And it's just like, what if in 3 years we're fighting foreign people on our own soil? What if we're dead in a year?
Or if they're telling us we have to go over into some foreign country to fight.
Exactly. Dude, I mean, what happens if they enact the draft? You know what I mean?
We say no.
We can't really. We signed up for it. I honestly don't know how that would go, actually. We would, because it would be a pointless thing that we would be trying to be sent to. You know, I don't need to go over to Israel and fight a war that has nothing to do with us. I don't need to go to Ukraine. I don't need to go to Taiwan. Like, no. I don't know what that looks like. But like, that's how we would go about it.
You're right.
Like, no, I'm not wearing the mask again.
You
can try COVID 2.0. Guess what? It's not happening, pal.
Yeah, and I think they saw that. That's why World War III is now the option.
Exactly.
And it goes perfectly into standing up for what you believe in. It does.
Yes.
Because it's 1,000% true. If you do not stand up, especially in this time, and say something, then you're not a leader as a man, and you're a nice man. You're just letting people walk right over you.
Yeah.
This is what Mitchell was saying. We're not advocating for violence against the LGBTQ community or whatever.
Without a doubt, we are not.
We're not.
0%.
But what we're saying is that we're going to stand up and say, no, that's stupid, what you're saying. Men can't be women. Women can't be men.
Right.
We're going to say that. And you're also not going to tell us it's the law now, because you're like 1% or less of the population.
Or that I have to conform to that.
Yeah. We're not going to conform to it. We're good men. You go live your life. You go do your thing. I'm not going to even bother you at all.
Exactly.
You won't even hear a word from me. But if you continue to bring it our way, you'll hear words from us.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, guys, at the end of all of our episodes, Money Mitch will ask us a Q&A question from you guys, the listeners or the viewers. You guys can submit these a few different ways. First, and probably the easiest way, DM them to us on Instagram at untapped.llp. You can also DM them to us individually if that works better for you. You can email them to us at extricationfitness@gmail.com. There's also an email button on our Instagram profile. You can also leave them in the comments on our YouTube videos. Our newest vlog is out. We had a terrifying Friday the 13th ruck. Gabel did get possessed. It is confirmed. I saved him, luckily.
Yeah, he exercised my demons.
I did. I am Catholic, so yes. So... But
that does sound weird.
So
you exercise my demons. Yeah,
it's true though. Yeah. But guys,
it's true. I love you. You just ran with that.
But guys, definitely go check out that vlog. We had a lot of fun with that. We should have another couple ones coming up here pretty soon.
Yes,
a lot of fun. Like, we really just get to showcase our personalities, and we always drop good knowledge on them too, especially fitness related type of things, rucking in the gym, field workouts, things like that. But
we naturally base it around that.
Exactly.
Yeah, as we should.
But a very spooky Friday the 13th video for you guys. So check that out. Check us out on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Interact with us on Instagram, and follow us on Instagram if you are not already. Anyway, with all that said, Money Mitch, it's time.
Game time.
It's game time.
That was dope.
I love this question because it fits.
Well, I love you, dude.
Well,
love you too, Mitch.
Wurtz. Love you, Gabe. Yeah. I should love him. He's
I
my
was
brother.
going to say, I definitely should love him.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Kind of required.
Yeah.
Bro, the amount of time it took to get him to say, love you back on the phone.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
My sister and I finally do. Like, my younger sister and I, we finally do.
I'm surprised you guys hadn't been doing it for a while.
I mean, it's not like it was yesterday, but yeah.
Well, I
mean, bro,
I know it wasn't yesterday.
We moved her into college, and I'm freaking crying as we're walking away. I'm like, gosh damn it.
See, that's feminine.
I know. I had to hide it.
You can't cry.
I tucked my face in my shirt like this.
Yeah. Oh, your sister's going to college. No. You need to be a man. Dude, that's how the red pill guys sound.
Oh, I know.
They do.
It's so ridiculous.
Be a man, bro.
Yeah.
You should never cry ever.
Yeah. Shut up.
Okay, dog.
Okay. Anyway, Mitch, let's hear it.
So now this sounds kind of bad, this question going into that based on that. But
why do we always do this?
The question is, how do you, as a man, be less needy while still being available to those in need?
That's a great question.
How do you be less needy?
How do you,
still
as
be
a man,
available?
Definitely doesn't take away from what we said.
No.
though. Like that was obviously like, yes, that was a little bit of an exaggeration what I just said
Sure.
and whatnot of like for fun, of course. So how do you be less needy and then more available for those around you? So I would say, at least on my end, I would say developing your own emotional strength is the best way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way I've found to do this is putting myself in the fire. And I literally, one thing I always tell myself every day.
You might get hurt if you keep throwing yourselves on fire. I mean, like I get it. I get the point, but I don't want you to get hurt, man.
I can't walk on hot coals. Probably pretty stupid to do that, but anyways. You're such a goofball. So what I would say is every day, one thing I tell myself, this is gonna be hard as shit. About Untapped. One thing especially about Untapped, I always say, and then I go life in general.
Mm-hmm.
I always say with Untapped, this is going to be super difficult, and I know it is. It's every actual business owner who's built something or has built a brand or who's done anything worthwhile, all of them say the exact same thing. That is extremely difficult. And I'm fully mentally preparing myself day in and day out. And I have to, and it's not out loud a lot of times. It's usually just in my mind. I'm like, yeah, okay, your video might not have gotten the likes you expected on it. It is what it is. That's part of it. That's fine. That is, the listens on the podcast might not have been 1 million. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You'll put in an episode. You'll put in an episode the next week. You'll put out a video the next day. You'll put out a tweet. You'll put out a TikTok. You'll sign up another client. You'll put out more fitness content, whatever it is. No matter what, even if it's going to be really hard, you continue to tell yourself to do that. That's how you become one. That's in my mind, that's how I become less needy, because I could cry all day to these two about how hard my life is, about how I have no money and whatnot, and about how I'd love to have a wife right now and, have an awesome family and all that stuff right now, because the world's about to end. So I'd like to have that before it ends, that type of stuff. I could cry all day long about that stuff. Instead, you need to handle the non-negotiables every day. You need to exercise. You need to move every day. You need to have some kind of mental exercise yourself, preferably praying. And this is something I need to be better about. And just talking to God helps so much, because the entire reason, and again, I've talked about this with Christianity, for me, it was never like a factual based thing. I never like found some fact and I was like, oh, it's the Dead Sea Scrolls, that's why I believe. It was never that. It was an actual experience I've talked about. And again, I'll tell that in a later episode sometime too. Again, just because I don't want to lengthen this too much. But God, the whole beauty about Christianity is that there's somebody bigger than you. And there's somebody who can carry those problems over you. Mm-hmm. And as a man, we carry a lot of stuff naturally. I definitely carry a lot of burden on my shoulders that, especially like even for my family name, for our stuff, whatever, I put a lot on my shoulders. But there's somebody else who can handle 8 billion people's weight. Mm-hmm. And that's Jesus Christ. That's God.
Yeah.
So that for me helps a lot. And then I don't have to come to somebody and complain about my problems when, my mother might be going through something and I need to be her rock in that scenario. Yep. My wife down the road, I need to be her rock. I don't have to come crying to her or something like that.
Sure.
Because that's going to be hard on her. That's going to be hard on her to see me in that scenario, and she shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Tackle the non-negotiables, work on your mental, work on your physical every day, and then go from there.
Yeah. No, I think that's all really good. And I think it basically, it comes down to being secure in yourself. That's the biggest thing, being secure in your physicality, in your emotional state, your mental state. It's being secure in that and having the trust in yourself that you can handle the things that you are put in the situation to go through. Probably said that out of order, but whatever. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You were put in your situations for a certain reason. We were put in the situation to reconnect for a reason. We pretty quickly found that reason. We were put in the situation to be like, hey, what if we try to do our own thing?
And we know who helped facilitate that as well.
Sure. Exactly.
G-O-D.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we were put in these situations for a reason. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was maybe Will, who we mentioned earlier. He put out a post the other day, one of his probably, 7
that day, yeah.
That dude posts like
Give or
crazy.
take.
And he's blowing up. It's pretty awesome.
And then his 80 stories that day.
Yeah, exactly. Not roasting Will.
No, not at all.
Love it because it's working. But anyway, he put
And it's
out
all
a
good
post,
stuff.
and I don't know if it was a quote or if he wrote this in his caption. It was just like, anything you're going through right now, you were put in that situation for a reason because you can handle that. You just can't see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a paraphrasing of what was said.
I know what post you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And, I think that's very, very correct. So you're going through something hard. You're going through something difficult. You're not seeing progress in this area or that area. Still be secure that you were in the right spot and not get overly emotional about it and be like, dude, like I'm just not seeing any progress.
It's game over, dude.
Exactly.
I'm never going to be ripped.
Now, on the flip side of all that, you also have to be able to lean on your people. Friends, family, significant other, whatever. You do have to also be secure enough to lean on the people when you need it. When you need it. You know, not 24/7. Earlier we mentioned you're not dumping on your people. You know, literally and figuratively. Like don't take a dump on your people.
Damn, Wurtz. What the shit?
Sorry. Come on, I just had to throw it in there. I'm
Yeah.
a goofy guy.
No,
sometimes.
I get it. Yeah, it happens.
Don't do that though.
Don't. Yeah, please don't do that.
But so you're not just always coming to these people with your problems.
Yes.
Problem after problem after problem
Right.
after problem. You know, come to them with the problem, ask for a solution, ask for advice. And if you ask for advice, listen to the advice. Don't just ask to ask. You know, so it's being secure in both of those things. Being secure in yourself enough to be like, I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this. Keep going. Keep doing it. Whatever it is. Keep putting in the work. Mentally, physically, all those things. 3 things I do every single day. Every single morning, I express gratitude out loud while I'm driving to the gym.
Love it.
Or if I ruck on a certain day where I don't go lift, first thing I do while I'm walking outside, which is awesome, I express gratitude outside before I turn on any podcast, turn on any music, anything. First thing I do. First thing I do as soon as I leave the house.
That's great.
Then at the end of the night, I write and I pray. Those 3 things every single day. Every single day. And it's awesome. I mean,
cathartic.
it feels great to do those things. Because one, makes you appreciate the things you have in your life and the people you have in your life. Because if you can't do that, you have nothing. You have nothing. And then at the end of the day, or whenever you want to do this, you reflect on that day. You reflect on how you're feeling right now. You reflect on the things that are going on in your life. You reflect. You reflect and you find a way to talk to God. You find a way to do that. You know? And so I don't really know where I'm going with that as far as answering the question, but
that was great stuff.
Those are just 3 very, very important things to me, and I think that they should be important to you guys as well, to anybody.
Yeah.
You know? And because try it for a day. Try doing all 3 of those things one day. Tell me how you feel.
Well, so that list you just gave, those 3 things, that helps you be secure in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then guess what? When you're secure in yourself, you're less needy, and you can be available when one of your homies might need it.
Yeah.
One of your family members might need it. Your wife might need it.
Or if you need
your girlfriend might need it. Or if you need it. You can just give it to yourself.
Exactly.
And you're less needy. You can handle those burdens that are put on your shoulder.
Exactly.
I want to hear from you too, Mitch. What do you got?
It's the self-confidence and self-esteem. They kind of go hand in hand. So self-confidence is you're confident in your ability to do whatever. And then what comes with self-confidence, having high self-confidence, is a good self-esteem. You value yourself highly. You know that you're a good person. You know that you're physically fit objectively. Like these things aren't, you're not overweight and you're saying, oh, you look good. No, objectively, you know you're an overall complete human. So when you have a high self-esteem, a high view of yourself, you're going to be able to give more of yourself because you don't have to build up yourself internally and give it to someone and then it leaves you drained. That tank's already there. You're able to give and give and give because you're confident in yourself. Say you're overweight and your homie who's in shape is all of a sudden asking, hey, am I in shape? Oh, you look great, dude. And then all of a sudden it's starting to bring you down inside because you're seeing them in shape and deep down inside, you don't want to face it. You're out of shape.
Yeah.
It could be, think about it in the same way. Here's another nice guy versus good man debate. If you're a good man, you're going to have a high self-esteem.
Basically, you have standards.
Yeah.
Too.
Good man.
Goes in with that.
Self-esteem. Your homie comes to you. He's out of shape. A nice guy will say, no, dude, you're good. You're fine.
You look great, bro.
A nice guy is going to tell you what you
want to hear.
What they want to hear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A good man is going to tell you what you need to hear.
Yes.
What you need to hear.
Yeah.
And because you have a high self-esteem, you can tell them that because you can say, I objectively did all this stuff. I am coming from a point where I worked to get to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I have some sort of credibility to give to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, hey, bro, I literally saw you get out of breath walking up the stairs the other day. That needs to be handled.
That's how you become less needy, is you have a high self-esteem, you have a high self-confidence. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. And you set the example yourself too.
Yeah.
You know.
You know,
Like you're doing with
when you have kids, bro, will you be prepared?
Yeah. Like you were doing with the movie
Somebody you can
theater
ask 'em.
awards.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
when you're just standing there on a podium yelling at people to telling them what to do, yet they don't see you doing it.
Exactly.
That's where a lot of, I'm in the corporate world, so you'll see a lot of higher up leaders, maybe C-suite, maybe senior directors, stuff like that, want to get involved maybe in the day-to-day trenches type thing, and they have no clue how it operates, and then they start telling you all this strategy and how to do X and Y when they don't know what the day-to-day looks like.
Yeah, right.
You have to humble yourself, and you can humble yourself because you've been there.
Yeah.
You know you were here, and you've built yourself up to have that high self-confidence, but you remember where you were.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, kind of on a lower level here, last thing I'll say is this happened just last week. I was working with 3 of our high school athletes at the facility, but we were working baseball stuff, not in the gym. And whenever I throw BP to these guys, I always like, hey, one of you come toss to me. Like, Coach Jake wants
So I
to
can
get
show
some
you
swings in.
how to actually hit. Yeah.
Well, and I'm in there and I'm taking some swings, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm freaking pissing on the ball, and it felt really good because I hadn't taken focused.
Yep.
Like I'll get up there and swing, like hey, do this, but like this was like I have intent to do damage
Like
to this baseball
450
here.
feet.
Just
Leaving this stratosphere.
I was trying.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah.
Like I was locked in. I was focused on doing damage to the baseball. One of the guys on my team, so one of my 13U guys, happened to walk into the building, and he saw me hitting, and I'm like, this is actually kind of a good thing. Not like hey, this is what
This is what Coach Jake can do.
this is what a former college baseball player should look like, or this is what it looks like. No, nothing like that. Because I said, "What's up, dude?" And then kind of just kept going on because I had guys with me, and he was going to do his thing, but I knew he was watching, and I'm like, you know what? This is actually probably a little bit of a good thing because it probably gives me some credibility in his eyes. Like, oh damn, like Coach Jake can swing it. So if he's talking to me about
he can murder that ball.
if he's talking to me about hitting, I have confidence in him to believe what he is saying and understand that he knows what he's talking about there.
Yeah. My coach has the credibility to talk to me about this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the way I was hitting, it actually gave me some confidence in myself. Like, okay, you know what? Anytime I'm questioning myself, I need to just trust I'm in this position for a reason. And I have that self-confidence, and then I have that self-esteem to then coach these guys on and off the field, because both are honestly off the field might even be more important to me.
The classic quote for those who can't do, they teach, because that's what we have nowadays.
College professors?
Yeah, you have a lot. Yeah, it's very common in academia. Sure. You have a professor who's done research their entire life, but they never had a real job.
Or never started a business and they're a business professional.
Or
professor.
Right. Or all the people who come out of the woodworks who are suddenly, 5-star generals on military strategy, and they transition from the Ukrainian war to Israel war.
Exactly.
Those who can't do, they teach.
Right. No, without a doubt.
Those who do can't teach.
Those who do show. That's what it is.
There it is. Yeah. I want to clarify that real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was showing that dude how to hit bombs. Just say that.
How to hit absolute nukes. How to tear the clouds apart.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. That is season 3, episode 29. 98 total episodes in the book, man. Pretty cool. Guys, we legitimately do have something sweet coming up for 100. We're already super, super excited about this. You guys are going to enjoy it. No doubt about it. But make sure that you pay attention to the things we're talking about. We're not coming from a misogynistic point of view. We're not talking from a point of view where we want violence against a certain group of people. Not at all. listen to our words. Don't try to read between the lines and create a narrative that is not there.
Other than pedophiles, we're doing violence against them.
100% kill all pedophiles.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yep.
That's-
100% without a doubt. Quote me.
Or tyrannical government officials.
Sure.
Those two
Basically
groups,
the same
for
thing,
sure.
honestly.
I mean, yeah,
In a
they
lot
all
of
love
ways.
kids for some reason too. Yeah, yeah.
But, they all like to pet Joe Biden's leg hair or whatever he said in the pool. That's just
Whatever
awesome. That's a quote
horrific
from our
thing
president.
he said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll do what you say,
Yep.
pal.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'll go right over to Israel, sir.
Yeah. Anyway. Make sure you guys share the show, okay? It helps us a lot. There's a reason we talk about this at the end of every episode. Share the show. Spotify, Apple Music, they all make it extremely easy to share it to your Instagram stories. That's probably the number one way that we are able to grow, is word of mouth, showing that you listen to us. If you watch it on YouTube, take a picture of your computer screen, take a screenshot of your phone, put that on your stories, tag us, share the show.
Tag
Can't
a
stress it
link on
enough.
there when you put on your story for YouTube.
For sure, guys.
It means the world to
For
receive
sure.
comments, likes from you guys.
Yep.
Especially on something like a vlog, very digestible.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Very digestible. Even
Very
if you
candid. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if, like, let's say you have time to watch our podcast later on YouTube or listen to it later, add some kind of comment to it before you start watching, then watch it later.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So, share the show, interact with our stuff, guys. Until next time, peace and love.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.